in the river unit, what we basically do is have the kids understand that they are connected to faraway communities by watersheds. So they're exploring some pretty big concepts here, and they're actually making regional connections in this unit. What we do is we use models to help them understand. So we're making big smaller for them, so it's much easier for them to grasp these concepts. And then we'll be adding human factors to help them understand how people actually can improve or degrade the environment. So they will be manipulating these models to actually see the impact that we have on the environment. Very much in this program, we stress, though, not that just people harm the environment, but these kids can be actually environmental stewards that will help the environment in the future. If I toss this globe around, what I'm going to just randomly do it to various people, I'd like you to freeze with your fingers on it, and I'm going to check to see if your fingers are in fact touching water, just to show you how much. I'm going to pick on you because you helped me carry everything today. Okay, freeze. Check this out. Most of his fingers, a little bit here on, you can point out geography here while wow, you got more land than usual. But this whole hand was basically on water. Can I throw it to you, please? Thank you. And the kids like do fallaways when we do this. Look at this, you're much better. Look at entirely in water there. So you throw this globe around like this to various students just to make the point how much water there is on the planet. If this represents all the water on the planet, right here, all the water on the planet, this is a gallon of water. If I pour about half a cup of this water out, just to make my point, this is going to be the salt water on the planet, okay? Well, there's a problem. 2/3 of the water on the planet is actually, fresh water on the planet is frozen. So right here we have everything that isn't frozen, that isn't salt, or fresh water. But there's a problem. There's also water that is in the air. And then there's water underground. And we get to a lot of that for our drinking water, but let's get rid of that. Some of it's inaccessible. Okay, so here we go. This remaining water, if this gallon container represented all the water on the planet, this is all the fresh water that we have in our streams, our rivers, and our ponds. The water that we have is all the water we will ever have. It's the same water that we had billions of years ago. So not only is water a limited resource, it's a finite resource. We won't have any more of this water than we do, so we have to take care of what we have. You're going to cut this piece of paper. See where the solid lines are? Cut it into 3 strips for me. When you connect it, watch me. Just make one twist, okay? Just make one twist. This is going to be your cycle that never ends. Okay, there is no end. Now, what I love to do, especially if you've already done an ecosystem unit with food chains and food webs, what else is like this Mobius ring? What else would be like this? Food chain. Yep. All I've done here is I've taken pebbles and I've created a slope. And these pebbles, this clear area here is supposed to be the river, okay? I'm making it rain like this. See that? I'm filling up the river even though I'm not even over there. So there's transverse movement as well as downward movement. Now, this blue line here is called the water table. And you're going to pretend you're digging a well. And you're going to stick your sprayer in here like this. See? That's my well. I don't realize that there's a crack in the pipe to my septic system. And so you can imagine what this yellow is, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to do my well again. You're nervous over there, aren't you? Oh, I'm drinking. I don't even want to know what I'm drinking. Okay. So to make this more realistic, we're going to put some dirt on the model. And some we're going to plant grass. So doesn't that look lovely? Okay. When water flows over dirt or rocks or anything, it often moves them with the water. So when it rains, when it rains, nothing's happening. So now I'm going to spray. So without the plants, our river is getting all filled with dirt and debris. So here's Fred. Very easy to make. Fred's just a sponge. So the first thing that happens is Fred heads downstream, is that he goes by farm country. And a farmer has just plowed his field, and as we just saw, when the dirt is loosened up and there's nothing holding it in, when it rains, the soil actually will go sweeping into the water. Well, next he gets to a suburban housing complex. And you know how people are in the suburbs. They're competing for who has the greenest lawn, so they're putting all sorts of fertilizers down. And when the fertilizers, though, get swept into the river the next time it rains and flows in there, it's going to be a problem. So Fred now comes to a bridge. Cars are going over the bridge, and some of them are leaking oil. And the oil goes right off the bridge. It's getting colder. It's freezing. What do they put down on the roadway? Salt. Fred is a freshwater fish. Salt is not good for poor Fred. Fred goes swimming by a city park. Boy, you'd think things would be nice, but people have had a picnic and they did not throw their trash in the trash can. Fred is humiliated. He doesn't want sparkles all over him. Just when we think things can't get any worse, poor Fred goes swimming by a factory. Well, he goes by the sewage treatment plant. Chemicals are spewing out of this toxic waste site. He floats to the surface. Fred is dead. Sometimes if I look at the faces and they look like mortified, I make him twitch and come back to life. Watershed, we're going to say for today, is the land area that drains into, in this case, a river or into a different body of water. Really easy way to show this. Watershed is a big concept, but I think this is pretty easy when you do this. Hold your elbows up high like this. And if it rains, if you see how the knuckles are put together, if it rains anywhere between your elbows, where's the water going to go? Yeah, into your knuckles, your knuckle river, right? So now we have a third one right here. So we have 3 different watersheds right here because when it rains, it's going to go into your river. Guess what? How many rivers do we have in New Haven? 3, yeah. I would be the Quinnipiac, you would be the Mill River, and you would be the West River, okay? This is a watershed model. These bins are going to be the watershed. What you're going to do in this activity is you're going to speed up time. You're going to see change occur in just a matter of seconds that would take thousands of years to happen. Okay, so what is the source of your river? Every bin should have a source, a mouth. You all have meanders. The kids, if they want to name their rivers, they can name them. I'm going to add a dam to your new river. Now, water's powerful. It's going to blow through this dam eventually. That's okay. But I want you to see how it's easy to divert water to create new things. We are going to have people start to live in your watershed. The minute we have people in your watershed, what do you think is going to happen? Pollution. All right. Now, what I want you noticing is water flows downhill, and with it, it takes pollution. These innocent people over here did nothing wrong. They develop a sense of ownership for their watershed, and that's what we want to have happen so that they care. Like I said, we want these to be our environmental stewards of the future. So if they learn to care like this is great.